Hey guys, welcome back to another Math with Max this week. So today we are going over something new. So get out your journal. You don't need scissors or glue, you just need your journal and your brain to be on. So I have my first period journal right here. Obviously you're going to do it in yours. So go ahead and turn to your table of contents. And in your table of contents, number 38 is going to be order of operations. Yesterday we did gross income versus net income, and 38 is order of operations. Okay, remember, if you need to pause the video, so if I'm going too fast, that's okay. Remember, you can always go back if you need more time with something. So fresh page 38, and I'm gonna go ahead and give you the rule first, and it's gonna be a minute of writing. So I'm gonna show it to you, and I suggest that you pause the video to write all that down and come back when you're ready. All right, so this says parentheses, which look like the curved lines or brackets. Then we have multiply, left to right, whichever comes first. Then that's multiply and division together. And then we have add and subtract, left to right, whichever comes first. And then we have this example that I need you to write down as well. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump into it. So like I said, you have, it's called PEMDAS, P-M-D-A-S, PEMDAS. We say it like that, PEMDAS. That's why if you look on the word wall, on the green wall, no, sorry, on the opposite wall, near my desk, you see PMDAS. That is what that stands for. Parentheses, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So when you start seeing questions like this, that is what it is applying to. When you get all these numbers together and all these weird symbols and everything, and it's telling you what order to do the problem in so that you make sure you get the question right. Okay, so the very first one is your example when it's in your journal, and I'm just doing it on my paper because I don't want you, so you can see it better. That's the only reason. So this is what you should have is your example on the front page. Okay, so in our rule, we said that parentheses, anything in parentheses or brackets had to be solved first. Okay, so I only see one set of parentheses and I see one set of brackets. These parentheses are inside of my brackets, so I'm going to solve the 30 minus 18 first. And the way I show that is I underline that part. That's telling me that that's the part I'm going to solve first. Okay, so I underline 30 minus 18. If you can't do that mentally, you need to do it somewhere to the side so you can figure that out. But 30 minus 18 should give you 12, right? 30 minus 10 would be 20, and then minus the other 8 would give you 12. So what I do is I draw a little arrow down and I get 12, just like that. Okay, but that's the only part of the equation I've done. All I've done is what is inside of those parentheses. So I can actually scratch it out if I want to, basically saying I'm done with that part. But what I still have is this pair of brackets. I still have the plus 14, the divided by 2, and the plus 6. So once I've done that, I need to basically drop everything down. So let me show you what that's going to look like. Okay, so now we're going to have this. We still have our brackets because we still had that 14 inside of our bracket. That hasn't gone away. Until I solve this part, my brackets are going to stay. And then on the outside, I still have the divide by 2 and the plus 6. Okay, so going back to the rule, I still have to finish any parentheses or brackets that I have, which means that I need to finish solving this set of brackets also. So I'm going to add the 12 plus the 14. And 12 plus 14 should give you 26. Okay, so just like that. So now that I've solved what is inside of these brackets, they're no longer anymore. They don't exist anymore because I've already done 12 plus 14. Now I'm saying, poof, be gone. The same way I did the 30 minus 18, I finished the parentheses. There's no more of them. So once I solve what's inside, I can get rid of that. And I still need to finish everything else that is on the side. I still have to divide by 2 and add the 6. So over here, I still have divided by 2 and plus 6. So I should have that now. Okay, so as you can see, this is going to start looking like upside down Christmas trees, or like when you're doing expanded notation, it's going to start getting slimmer and slimmer and slimmer until you get to a final answer. Okay, that's the whole purpose, trying to make it smaller. It's called simplifying an expression. Sorry. So we talked about how simplifying makes things smaller, right? Because when you're dividing, you're making something smaller. It's the same thing here. you might see a question that says simplify the equation or the expression. That's what they mean. They mean give me an answer. Okay, so again, we have 26 divided by 2 plus 6. Now, going back to our journal notes, it says that we have to, after parentheses, we have no more parentheses or brackets here, do we? No more parentheses and no more brackets, which means I have to look at my operations of what's left. I have division and addition left over. So according to my notes, it says that I have to do any multiplication and division first. So right now I'm looking for multiplication or division. If there's only one of them there, you're only doing one of them. Multiplication is not here, so I have to do the division. Okay, and from now I'm looking on left to right, and I've always looked from left to right, but when I say I look from left to right, I'm looking at division and addition. So division is first, not because it's coming first in the whole equation, but because division and multiplication has to be solved first. So right now I'm going to do 26 divided by 2. Okay, we always want to follow those PEMDAS rules. I cannot do addition and subtraction until I finish any multiplication and division first. All right, so again, if you don't know how to solve this in your head, you need to write it somewhere on the side so that you get the right answer. But you should be saying to yourself, what times 2 gives me 26? You should say 13. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and scratch that out again because that means I've already done that part. But what I still have left over is that plus 6. Okay, so now I'm left with 13 plus 6. That's my last step. And that should give you an answer of 19. Okay, so my answer for this first example is 19. So again, I want to finish anything in parentheses or brackets first. Once I get rid of those things, I'm ready to start looking and seeing what I have left. Here was division and then addition. I have to solve any addition and multiplication before I can do addition and subtraction. Addition and subtraction is always going to be your last steps. If you're doing multiplication last, you know you did something wrong. If you're doing division last, you know you're doing something wrong. If you're doing the parentheses last, you know you're doing something wrong. So again, addition and subtraction has to go last. Addition and subtraction is last, okay? So always follow those steps, PMDAS, and it has to go in that order. Alrighty, so that was the example one. Alrighty, go ahead and turn to the back of your journal, of your notes that we just took, and remember, you're writing this all in your journal. You're not getting a separate sheet of paper. I'm just doing it bigger so that you can see it clearly. Okay, so that was the one that we just did right here. Okay, on the back, we're gonna have lots of examples. I want to make sure we understand this. It's a lot of fun once you get into the hang of it, as long as you remember your rules and you kind of get to see who goes the fastest, right? All right, so go ahead and write those down, or you can just write number 1 and number 2 for now, the top ones, and then I'll show you the bottom ones in a second. But go ahead and write those first 2 down, and that way we can go over them. Okay? Number 1 and number 2. Alrighty. So, number 1 is this one, which you should have written down. The 30 minus the brackets, 4 times parentheses, 2 plus 5. Alright, so going back to our rules, parentheses are first. So I'm going to underline whatever is in parentheses, and in this case, it is the 2 plus the 5. Okay, mental math there. We already know 2 plus 5 should give us 7. Okay, so I've solved what is in parentheses, but I still have what's out here. I still have brackets, and I still have that minus 30 in the front. So I still have to bring all that down. Okay, guys, it's super important that we're bringing everything down and not just trying to solve everything at one time. You're gonna get the wrong answer because you're trying to do the wrong thing in the wrong order. So we should have this left over, right? So we're left with 30 minus brackets, 4 times 7. Remember, brackets or parentheses need to go first, so I have to solve this. Even though this is in front, I still need to solve this part first. So 4 times 7, which should give you, if you know your multiples, it should give you 28. Okay, just like that. Right? So now that I've solved what's inside of my brackets, again, remember, I'm ready to get rid of it. I'm going to scratch it out. And what's left over, the 30 minus the 28. And that's all that's left over. Remember, I said, if you're doing multiplication or division last, you're doing something wrong. Addition and subtraction is always going to be your last steps. So all I have left is 30 minus 28, which should leave you with just like that. And that's it for that one. That one was a lot simpler than the first one. Okay, so again, going back, parentheses and brackets first, then you're looking for multiplication and division. If there is no multiplication and division, then you're ready to move on to addition and subtraction. Alrighty, so that was number 2. I'm sorry, excuse me, example number 1. Alright, example number 2, you should have had this written down like that. Alright, so you should already be telling yourself, I know I'm going to do the parentheses first, the 16 minus 11, which is going to give you 5. Okay, I've already done what is in parentheses, so I'm going to scratch it out, and then I'm just going to put the plus 5 and the minus 36. So this is what I should have left. All right, so we have subtraction and then we have addition. Now, in the rules, it's PMDAS, but on the side of the A and the S, the addition and subtraction, I wrote left to right, whichever one comes first. So basically what I'm saying is that addition and subtraction, they can cut in front of each other. So if I see subtraction, that's okay. That's the one I'm going to do first. And then if I see addition first, if the addition was here instead, then I would do the addition. If I'm looking from left to right, this is the first one that I see when it comes to addition and subtraction. So again, I'm going to do that one first. So 36 minus 5 should leave you with 31. Okay, so once I solve that, I scratch it out, and I have the plus 5 left over. And we're back at 36. Okay, so this one was a little bit different in the case that, remember, these two guys can switch spots, or they can cut in front of each other, I should say. If I see subtraction first, I want to do subtraction. If I see addition first, then I want to do addition. But you're always looking at the equation from the left side to the right side, like you're reading it like a book. Okay, so that was example number 2. I'm going to go ahead and show you example number 3 and number 4 to write down. Okay, remember, pause it if I'm going too fast and write them down. All right, so here's equation number 3. 8 times 6 minus 4 times 3. Okay, no parentheses, no brackets, so I don't need to worry about that. Now, all I'm worried about now is multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Okay, in this one, if I'm doing multiplication or division first, I only see multiplication problems. So you might be asking yourself, well, which one do I do first? But that goes back to what I was saying in number 2. You have to do whichever one comes first. So in this example, remember, we're looking from left to right, like a book. We're reading it like a book. This multiplication sign is coming before this one, so I have to solve this one first. 8 times 6 should give you 48. Okay. I've solved this, so now I need to bring all this stuff down. Minus 4 and times 3. Okay, so now we have a subtraction and then a multiplication. Remember I told you subtraction and addition last. So that tells me I got to do the 4 times 3 next, which is going to give you should be saying 12 right now, right? But I still have that minus 48 on the side. I do one thing and then I bring the rest down. Do one thing, it's like one step at a time, people. Don't try to do 2 or 3 steps all together. So now we're left with 48 minus 12. 48 minus 10 would give me 38, and minus 2 more, which should give me 36. So 48 minus 12 should give me 36. Same as our other one, huh? Same as our other question. Okay, and that's it. 36 for that one. Alrighty, that was number 3. Let's look at number 4. You should have 3 plus 7 times 6 divided by 3 and minus 4. Okay, so again, looking at it from left to right. No parentheses, no brackets, so I don't have to worry about that. I have addition, multiplication, division, and subtraction. Okay, so I'm looking at my multiplication and division first. But remember, if I'm looking from left to right, like a book, I see multiplication first. So 7 times 6 is going to be my first step. And that should give you 42, like that. Okay, I'm going to scratch them out. So remember, once you do one step, you drop everything down. One thing at a time. I can't stress that enough. I have so many kids in the past that try to do 2 steps at one time. It's gonna mess you up every time. All right, so now we have addition, division, and subtraction. Again, these 2 are last, so this one has to be next. So 42 divided by 3. Oh my gosh, I honestly don't even know what 42 divided by 3 is. So I'm gonna have to work it out on the side here. 42 divided by 3. I hope, I don't know this. 3 divided by 4 goes into 4 one time. Minus 3 is 1 and 12. Oh, okay, 4. Hello. 4 is 12 and 0. Okay. So if I divide 42 by 3, I should get 14. Okay, so then I've solved this, but remember, do one thing, scratch it out, and bring down the rest. So in the front, I still have 3 plus, and in the back, I'm still gonna have that minus 4. Okay, so now I'm left with addition and subtraction. I'm doing good because I know those are my last 2 things. I can't be doing multiplication and division last, so I have to have addition and subtraction last. So looking at the book from left to right, addition is first, so 3 plus 14 gives me 17. Okay, once I scratch it out, I still have that minus 4. And we're left with 17 minus 4, which should give us 13. Just like that. Okay? Again, stay in order, right? All right, sorry, I thought my video stopped and I was gonna have to start all over again. It was gonna be annoying. Alrighty, number 5. Let me get back to where I was. I had to go to the back of my journal. Alrighty, this is number 5. Oh, sorry, I haven't shown you number 5 yet. Number 5 and number 6 are gonna be on the side here. And they're just gonna be, I don't know if you can see that or not. They're just gonna be slightly different. So make sure you copy those carefully. If not, I'm gonna show them to you up here. This is gonna be number 5. Okay, so you'll notice that right here, I don't have a symbol in between my 5 and the 5 and the parentheses. So I'm going to explain to you what that means when we get to that part. Alrighty, so again, parentheses or brackets first. I see parentheses, 6 plus 9. And that should give you 9, 10, 11, 12, 15. My brain stopped working. Okay, 15. All right there. Okay, so now I still have that 5 on the outside. Anytime you see a number next to a set of parentheses with no operation in between, no multiplication sign, no division, no addition, no subtraction, that automatically means that you're going to multiply. So right here, I'm going to put a multiplication sign and then my 5. So again, anytime you see a number directly next to your parentheses or bracket, doesn't matter. You're going to put a multiplication sign because that's what that means. It means you're multiplying the 5 times whatever you get inside of there. Okay, so I still have minus 3 and divided by 2. Okay, so again, looking from left to right, multiplication, subtraction, a division. I know this guy's going to have to be last, so I have to do the 5 times the 15 first. 5 times 15, I'm going to have to work that out myself, not going to lie. 15 times 5, 5 times 5 is 25. I feel really silly sometimes after I do that because I'm like, I should have known that, but my brain sometimes decides it's not going to be quick enough. So 5 times 15 should give you 75. Like that, okay? Scratch it out, and then I still have the minus 3 divided by 2. You know what? Okay, we're going to skip number 5 because I don't like it. I messed up on it. So 9, 10, 15, 15 times 5. Yeah, I made a mistake when I was making it. Yep, I did. Okay, so we're going to skip number 5 and we're going to go right to number 6. So don't even worry about number 5. That is totally my fault. My bad. All right, this is going to be number 6. Okay, so again, we have, in this one, we have parentheses and a pair of brackets. So first we're going to do the 5 minus the 1, because that's in parentheses. And that's going to give me 4, right? Okay, so I'm going to scratch it out. But what I did say about the other on number 5, that when you do have a number outside, it does mean to multiply. So right here, I'm going to put a multiplication symbol. So I have 2 times 4 plus 7 right there. But again, I haven't gotten rid of my parentheses because I still have these other numbers that I haven't used yet. So I'm still going to have brackets outside of these guys. Like that. And then I still have the divide by 3 on the outside. Okay. Now, again, I still have brackets. What's inside my brackets? Multiplication and addition. So I'm going to do the 2 times the 4 first. That should give you 8. But inside there, I still have my 7. So again, I still have my brackets. 8 plus 7, brackets, and then the divide by 3 on the outside. Okay. Still have my brackets. 8 plus 7 should give me 15. And then I need to divide that by 3. So 15 divided by 3 should give us an answer of 5. Just like that. Okay. So that is order of operations. Let's go back through that one more time. Parentheses and brackets are always first. Always, 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 always. And you have to solve everything that's inside of it before you can get rid of those parentheses or brackets. Once you've solved everything that's inside, then you can like say, ba-boom, you're done. Okay? Then you're looking for multiplication and division. Multiplication and division are the same as addition and subtraction, where I say they can cut in front of each other. So if I were to say, and I'm just showing this as an example, if I had 3 divided by 5 times 4, and this wouldn't work out, but I'm just showing you. If I'm looking at this from left to right, I would still do the division first, okay? And then whatever I got from that, I would multiply it times 4. So addition and subtraction, multiplication, they still have that cutting rule. The only difference is that for multiplication and division, you have to do it before you do any addition and subtraction. Addition and subtraction is always, always, always what? Last, okay? I cannot repeat myself enough when it comes to that. And then if you have a number next to your parentheses, like in this one, it means to multiply. So after you've done what's inside parentheses, make sure that you put a multiplication symbol next to it. And if this 2 was outside of the bracket, like right here, it would still be the same thing. It would still be multiplication, meaning you're just going to multiply whatever you get from the inside of it. Okay? If you have questions, make sure you ask them to me. 2 things. I'm not sure if I'm going to be in the classroom while you're watching this video or I'm going to be out. So if I am in the classroom, feel free to come ask me questions and I'll tell you what to do afterwards. Either way, if you did not finish your center work from the past couple days, that is due today. If you have not done your 5 Imagine Math lessons, those are due today. I'm sorry, I take that back. Imagine Math lessons are due today, but your center work is due Monday. So whatever you don't finish needs to go home. Go home, center work. Go home, center work. Due on Monday. Your benchmark homework should be in the basket. We're going to check that on Monday as well. And that should be it. So if you're done with everything, you can read a book, or you can do Reflex, or you can do Imagine Math. That's your choice. Just make the right choices. And if I'm not there, be kind to the sub. Guys, remember, you're a reflection of me. And if you're misbehaving, it's basically saying like Ms. Valdez doesn't know how to control her class, or she has bad students that don't know how to control themselves. And you do. You're old enough, you're big enough, you've been in school for so many years, you know how to act. And remember, these are your grades. You need to make sure that you're trying to pass, okay? And this is going to be on STAR, this is going to be on benchmark, so we need to stay focused, okay? So hopefully you understand. If you don't, I suggest that make sure if you're confused, make sure you always pause the video and go back to what I said so that it's not confusing, okay? And again, just do your best if I'm not there, okay? So, all right, have a good one, guys. Oh, sorry, Max is asleep and Rocky's asleep too, so sorry.